So two things to say immediately. First is this series on this channel at least is not going to be story focused, so I am going to be breezing through the dialogue unless we're playing with Noah, because that's the intent. If the thumbnail didn't already give it. And the second time is that this is not a sponsored video or anything. I'm not being sponsored or, given anything to make this. I'm just playing it off my own thing. And I'm not going to scroll down further because there will be spoilers anyway. But yeah, so this is the actual file I'm working with. But yeah, file. But we are going to be playing with a new game anyway, just to go through it. So probably about 3 runs is the intent. As we also get into, yes, there should be timestamps, and 3, each video is probably going to be about 20-30 minutes long at most, and if not, I mean, every now and then it might be a little longer. Usually not going to be shorter, but I guess we'll find out how fast I can go through. But yes, just to repeat one more time, this is not going to be story focused, so I will not be slowing down to read the story. Not just because I've already read it. Oh my goodness, are we stuck here? Really? No! I guess we can just wait. Because these are stream-like videos, and for those who don't know what that means, it means I'm not really doing any editing and rendering. So, just to make sure, if I can tweak the audio really quickly. Yeah, let's start a new game. I think for the most part, I'm just going to go with whatever. Because I mean, I'm just going to do my best. So, hey, me first, and we will set ourselves, and off we'll go. But again, just to kind of get into the thing of, I might be repeating some things that I've said in the trying to play video. That's fine, because this is the kind of the more formal series, which is why you might be seeing other things along with the video, but that's, sometimes it's out of my control, funny enough. So, I mean, hey, and exactly what I mentioned here, we are literally going to skip through. I mean, if you want to pause from time to time when it's a moment I can't skip, because it's not like I've seen everything yet, but I have certainly seen most of the main story anyway. So, just going through the tutorial here, because that's what's part of a new game anyway. That being said, I don't know how much I mean, it's not like I'm knowledgeable on everything Magical Princess. I will actually say from time to time, or at least at the very beginning, that I know this comes from an existing board game. Some people call it more like a TRPG, but I would say consider it more a board game, because that's literally what I think the vocabulary of the Japanese site says. I linked it, I think, in the trying to play videos. I'm not sure if I'm gonna link it in this video. I usually should. There's no reason not to, but just in case you were curious about where this series came from. Because I don't remember I don't recall some of these whether some of these characters are actually original, or if this is actually a crossover or something, so on and so forth. I do know that Korone is pretty much the poster child character for this series, so I mean, I'm shrugging in real life. That's all I have to say at the moment. So, again, and we're probably just going to go as long as we can for 20-30 minutes, because I know how much time people have in the day, even though that's kind of counterintuitive to what I think players usually want to play with. So what I mean by that, and as I get to, I guess, talk about game design and game dev stuff, because, I have an interest in game development as a wannabe game developer, but players don't have a lot of time these days because of all the games that are available. Not just that, though. I mean, granted, I say that, so one little, what's the word I'm looking for here? I guess I'll just say devil's advocate for now, is that we are aching for basically genres of certain games of certain genres, and I'll just leave that up in the air, because I'm sure you, the listener, can think of at least 2 different genres of game, not including the Princess Raising series, which I think also needs more games in it. But at the same time, I'll talk probably later on later episodes, if not later this video, at least, of the difficulties of making a raising game, basically, not just whether you're raising a child, whether you're raising a monster, whether you're raising anything really. It can even be like an inanimate object like a house or a rock, but you get the point. There are difficulties involved, so if I were to take a step back, raising games definitely take time, but there are still game genres that at least I personally believe do need some representation, because people are basically hungry for it. By the way, here's your and I will mention, as someone who knows a little bit of Japanese, I've taken some academic study into Japanese. I have never been to Japan. I've mentioned this on the channel before, but in case you're new, I had a chance to basically become a lot more academically, not gifted. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to also concentrate, because I'm just trying to focus. If you haven't already noticed, I'm focusing stamina, so I'm focusing on a physical daughter. But I know a bit of Japanese. That's all you need to know. So I will immediately point out if I happen to listen, because I do have the game audio lowered. Please let me know if my audio is too loud or if the game audio is too low. This is kind of perfect for me, but I can't tell on everyone's setup whether or not, well, it sounds good. But back to basically the game itself to some extent, because again, we're just watching the story play out for the moment as I'm skipping through. But yeah, players don't have a lot of time these days, so they do. And what that has to do with me basically making this series is that I understand that oftentimes, not always, I wouldn't even say a huge majority, but if you're interested in, I guess, specifically the daughter raising series and looking for other games like it, you might be watching this video. I understand that. At the same time, for a more, for someone who plays a lot more genres of games, whether it's, even if we're just taking a step back and saying both shooters, fighters, roguelikes, card battling games, grand strategy, I can go on and on about this. Yeah, there's not a lot of time. So that's all I have to say at the moment. And that also means that's not a lot of time to watch other people play games. Now, that being said, there is something to be said here. I might as well say it. It's not like it's some secret. We just have to talk about what I do think is an objective fact, that a lot of people do watch other playthroughs to basically experience the game in some sort of fashion. That being said, I will still say here, as I'm, again, not sponsored by the developers, translators, publishers of Magical Princess, please buy the game yourself. I think it's still on sale as part of the release, and if not, just know it's actually, how much is it right now? So as I skip through this. So, let me see here and see what the price is as I go through this. Thank goodness I can also use the keyboard so I can dual wield here in the background. But yeah, 20% off at the time of this recording for about $12 USD, which means when it's at full price, it's actually $15 USD, which is, I'm leaning over just to make sure I'm reading the price right. Yeah, $14.99 USD. And we'll actually do a save here. So I cleaned all my saves. All of my older saves are down below. But because, I'm a little shy, I will not show you that. If you want to see it, I'll show you it. But until then, well, hey. I'm not really going to plan to load. So whatever we get, we get. And if it takes me 4 runs to get through, I guess, most of the story, if not pretty much 90% of the main story, then I guess so be it. What was I talking about? Time. Not really much else to talk about, though. Again, I'm aware that people will try to experience games, maybe to get too interested in playing the game and buying the game, but yeah, I was talking about how it, yeah, $14.99 USD on Steam. I don't know if it's out elsewhere, but hey, as we pick the sword fighting track, because we're going to be a physical daughter at the moment. Physical Toast, and the reason why I named her Toast is because literally it's 1 letter away from toast. So, I'm not used to this, again, because I'm used to just smashing every class, immediately in one shot, but because we are starting anew, we don't get to do that, so I guess we'll do it. That being said, here's where I also reiterate that I'm just kind of picking blindly because I'm autopiloting, but each stat does have its own special effect on top of just the grade of the stat as well, also helping you out overall. I have to pull up the guide, and here's what I mentioned. If I don't link it to in the description below, know that there's an official Steam guide by the actual creators of the game. I don't know if it's the creators, how much are the creators or the translators or someone else who's involved with the team made the guide, but essentially there's a lot of at least objective fact to look in as we get our main character for this run, which yeah, I've had a lot of I've had a lot of funny moments putting Noah in the party, because if you didn't know, there's also a battle system involved in here. It's not the most complicated, but at the same time, I've been I think is his name Philo. I'll have to remember it when I run into him again. But just know that your daughter can get bonked by characters, and they NPCs dance over your fallen daughter. it's just like, why do we live like this? Anywho. Let's take a look here. We might as well just sit around and unlock things, but it's likely just to happen anyway. By the way, Kroa, I'm gonna try to do English pronunciation, is again another frequent character to we'll call it the Magical Bakery series, because I think that's what it's called, if I recall correctly. I mentioned it in the previous videos, and then I just proceed to forget. But because I obviously have never gotten the board games, I don't know if any other character that I haven't seen is actually part of those board games. There's quite a bit. There's like a handful of them. Around half a dozen, I'd like to say. That being said, I just realized that we do not have access to the place we want to train at yet. We can talk to Croa, but we actually want someone else instead. And I'm going to be a bit of a gameplay, trying to go for a little bit of efficiency, but at the same time, we don't have anything else to do, so we're just going to bake. I could actually increase my intelligence instead, if for no other reason than skill points, but as we get into that part of it, so really quick for 15 seconds. As I mentioned earlier, each of your stats does something. I think Vigor is physical defense, Strength is physical attack, Speed is literally speed, and Vitality contributes to HP. But increasing your stamina overall will help your HP. I'm not going to talk about the other stats, maybe Intelligence, but we'll get to them when they are more relevant. They're all relevant for battle in some shape or fashion, but just know that raising grades is pretty much just going to be, is going to help you out overall anyway. Now, obviously, they have their specific uses in things outside of battle, but for the moment here, I think I do want to work, because again, I'm trying to do things that I haven't done before, so we probably will focus on the bakery to some extent, but we're also going to basically focus on battle. I think battle is still a huge part of Magical Princess. I don't doubt that you could do without. Again, I haven't played with every kind of Toas here. So as we do our mandated sneak out at night, I don't think anyone's out here. And there's not really any reason to stay here, because I don't think you need to force morality at 100%. Obviously, actually not obviously, because I can mention it now. At the main screen, you can basically see the requirements for doing certain things in game, basically. So what I'm forgetting is whether or not you need 100% morality. I know some things require like 80% morality or more. That's not the worst thing in the world. That allows you to actually do some evil actions. They're called evil actions, so I'll say evil. But as we do our rolling saves here, what do we go out and eat somewhere? I'm trying also, again, since I'm not planning to load and not waste time, I'm gonna hope that I remember all these talks. There's quite a lot of them, which I will praise Magical Princess for, on top of the fact that it's fully voiced, if you didn't already know. But let's see here. Speed, strength. I mean, I'm just gonna pick things randomly anyway, but we just want to make sure that we're doing things correctly. So, skill point, skill point. We're likely going to max out the stamina tree. I think there's like only one skill off the stamina portion of the skill tree that is not as important. And Fran is another recurring character in the Magical Bakery series. So yeah, Korone, Fran, and Croa, I know for certain. I think one of the teachers, Anne, is also a recurring character. I didn't say returning. I specifically saying recurring here. I'm also not moving out, which I should do, but we can finally go where we need to go. And lo and behold, I think the other one, Chocola? That's, Chocolat? I forgot how it's pronounced, but I could actually just listen to the character say the name, but it's fine. Again, we're going to go through this. So, something to note here is, again, while I'm here, I might as well explain some things here and there gameplay-wise, gameplay-focused stuff. But, yeah, so the stamina tree and I think the sensitivity portions of the skill tree are connected together. So once I do stamina, I can immediately cut through and get sensitivity. Although, is it the same number of steps? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No, it saves one skill point. So I can go for max energy. I'll explain this in the second playthrough, but I'll probably mention it here and there. That, yes, there is max energy here. And I think there's one in the EX skills too in the sensitivity. Yes, sensitivity. I think that is, I don't doubt there's a strategy there, but basically, so these two parts of the tree connected, and then intelligence and charm are also connected. But you notice here that you can't go in between. So if you want to start on one of these skill trees on the left or right side, you have to start with one of the student choices. But as we look for Noah here, because we're going to focus Noah for the moment, I think it's still fine. Yeah, I'm not planning to do anything intensive. And here's, again, this first playthrough is going to be my little test to see how far I can go. It's gonna be a bit weird, but hey, now that we have unlocked the training grounds, we're gonna do it. This is not something new, by the way, but because I don't think it's achievement points are carried across, are not, let me repeat that again, so to correct myself, are not carried across save files. I might as well do this again. I've already done training ground before on the other save file, but need to do it again here so I can at least, let me be more clear. Maxing out the levels at a location contributes to, if I can look at it really quickly while grabbing something here, your achievement points. So if I were to go down here, let me just go see something. And again, these tell you what you may want to do as well. But as I mentioned, you can probably say, I'm going for max stamina, raise morality to 70 more, which you can definitely get. All of a type of class. And yeah, reaching level 5 at, again, locations here. In my case, it's going to be the... Where am I going here? I'm going absolutely... Oh, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So the training grounds. So on the other save file, I've unlocked it, but because that doesn't carry across save files, then you can do different things, basically. Not that you need to play the game more than with one save file, but again, I'm just doing it so that I have something here for the video. I also probably cook something here. Yeah, I can. Might as well. Maybe that extra point will help out. As the official guide will also let you know, you do want to stay at 49 stress or below. And basically, by the time you reach high 40s in your stress, you want to get rid of some, because if you don't, at 50 stress and above, your daughter's max energy hits half of its normal max, meaning in my case, it'd go to 5, which is not good. Yeah, that's all I have to say at the moment. Yeah, we're not gonna go for Kroa. Now, the thing to note about that gameplay-wise, NPCs that appear in the night, is something, if and when I make a tips video, is that it's not a bad idea to pick an NPC that visits the night. That way you can spend your energy. Not that your energy isn't helping you at times, but by the time you get, even like your late game of your first playthrough, basically, I promise you that your stress should be mostly managed with everything you can do, if you're playing efficiently. If you're not playing efficiently and you're kind of just coasting through, because this is more of a cozy game, yeah, alright, you might want to use the energy for stress. So again, to take a step back and explain myself, any energy that you have when you rest during the night basically contributes to stress at a 3 times level. So if you have 5 stress, you'll heal 15 stress. If you have 3 energy, did I say stress? 3 energy, and you rest at night, you'll get 9. Your daughter's stress will decrease by 9. Words. Also, you'll notice that I threw my gold in there. I can't win any of the contests here. We're trying to save here. We're just rolling our saves here, which is more a general thing. I like rolling my saves. If you're confident, you don't need to, so shrug, right? That being said, I do want to go on these trips as well, but I'm missing gold, so whoops. That being said, if there's anything else if there's anything to take away from this video, it's that you can certainly max out 2 location levels in one run. Let me repeat that. Every run, you should be able to max out 2 locations, whether it's the library and the training grounds, whether it's the tavern and the bakery, so on and so forth. You can get 2 locations to max, or you should be able to, with both trainings. So you'll notice that in each location, there are 2 types of actions you can do. You can get both of those actions to max in 2 locations in a run, safely, usually. Not so much if you're trying to do something odd, like, raise the affection of every character in the run for whatever reason. But I promise you, at the average you'll probably get for characters is about 2. And you really want to focus 1 anyway, so, I mean, that's all I have to say at the moment. Now, that being said, as much as I want to boost Chocolat here, and I accidentally clicked on her, I actually want to do, again, we're going for Noah here. Probably not the best choice, I would say Chocolat, because unless you're running your daughter as a healer, Chocolat is the primary healer. Not that other characters can't support you in their own ways, or not that you can't just go all out at times, but I promise you, even though the game, funny enough, I think it was today or 24 hours ago, it did get patched to make the game easier, basically. So, let's see here. Was it the bakery? I want some of the money here because I need and want to go on the family trip. So we'll do that and then go back to the outskirts and go to the training grounds because we want to immediately be able to go to the, what's the word? I want to have the daughter be able to fight immediately, basically. Now, you probably are not so pressed for time in that regard, but I am just being safe here. So we're gonna take because classes are important. Yes, energy is as well, but it's not like we can go on dates yet. But I guess we're going to find out. Because again, it's not like I'm the most knowledgeable yet, so I don't know what the best course of action is for doing certain things. I'll leave that vague because I don't know. It depends on what you want to do. Maybe you want to complete the main story in as a few runs as possible. Maybe you want to, max out every character's affection on separate runs first, which I will say, this is kind of spoilers, but it does have an effect. Now, how much you consider it an effect that matters is up to debate, and that's all I'll say on that. So again, I have 0 stress here. I should just use it here, but I'm just going to be safe here. For no other reason than to show that you don't need to use that energy there, but you could. I probably could have just talked to Flan there and be perfectly fine. So, roll our save. We're just going to save over for the moment, but usually I'm not so worried about loading, so hey. Really quick note as we just autopilot our classes here is that the reason I'm doing family trips here and there is because I do just want to fill out the photo album just to do so, but I think it's also a feat. And if it's not a feat, then if no other reason, then it also decreases your stress by quite a lot. The family bond that you build up, the little time you take to basically micromanage your bond, even though it's an extra few clicks, does allow you to put a dent in your stress, basically. I said I was going to narrate through Noah stuff. I did not. So, whoopsie doopsie. But as we get our event here and get our next character, if you haven't already noticed, a lot of the characters' names usually have to do something with bread and baking at some form. Mostly it's the characters that come from Magical Bakery board games themselves, like Korone, like Croa, like I think even Anne, because that's just missing the pan, Flan, so on and so forth. They have to all do with like some kind of food and baking. So it's you can kind of see where those come from. Also, did I talk to Noel already? I don't think I did. Well, let's hope we unlock advanced training soon, but we do want to talk to Noah. So, hey. Which, if I were to show you something funny, yeah, funny enough, Noah doesn't get a lot of representation, at least in terms of Steam achievements. I think funny enough, Noah's max affection is a lot higher on the Steam achievements percentage of people who've done it, compared to the achievement that people have the least of at the time of this recording, which is to see Noah's ending. And then right above that, I think is Shale here? I think it's Shale. Yeah, it's either Shale or Hassis. But anywho. And lo and behold, I think it's Flan and Croa that have the highest percentage of players who've gotten their endings. Oh, training grounds, by the way. I actually should go to the bakery because I need money for the next trip, but we'll find out. I'm gonna hope that I can rush things there. But anywho, so as we get closer, or as we go farther in, further, U further is for non-literal, non-distance meanings. For farther with an A is for physical distance, if you didn't know. And if I get that wrong, well, I guess a bunch of grammar professors were wrong. So, but yeah, we didn't actually get... Actually, this video went long, but only because the intro was a bit long. So, as you see here, and I'll show that really quickly, might as well. So, if you didn't know, and these little pop-ups are appearing, you do get, I think it's EX skill. So, the family skill has to do with your bonds. You get the cooking command, which you pretty much, I think, already unlocked. The family trip command, which you've seen me use, costs money, but puts a big decrease on stress. And then extra stress healing here on the 3rd level for Pep Talk. Feast, get extra food, which actually can help early game. But again, I haven't run a cooking daughter yet. And then extra stress for family trips, and then extra stress when talking to your daughter with this. Again, the few clicks that you do can help out. But whether or not we'll see them actually be used efficiently by a lot of players, well, hey. So as we focus on all of our stamina classes here, probably about 2 more months worth of gameplay before the end of this video. Because again, as you've noticed here, I've kind of gotten to the rhythm of doing 1 NPC talk and 3 trainings. You could spread them out, but I would ill advise going for more than even just 3 NPCs in a run. Even 2, I find, at least right now, I find it's a bit much to manage. Do I want to split the difference here? Because I know I can max the bakery as well, so I guess... not anymore. So, the thing about advanced training you'll see here is it's 4 energy, but you get more stats. The thing to note, though, is that you don't... One of the stats is missing, so for example, sword training has vitality, but advanced training doesn't. But it does give you speed. So overall, you get more stats once you're, it's at level, because sword training is 4 and advanced training is at level 1. But if these are at the equal level, then you get more overall points for advanced training. But again, if you need the stat that's not in the heavy training, heavy action, then I'm shrugging real life as I say. I mean, there's not really much else to say. But what I was going to do is check the home, that's right, because I think basically every season you can go on a new family trip. That being said, I think it's because I don't have enough money. I think, question mark. So, yeah. No, wait, February, right? Still winter? I'm just going to assume it is. We'll grab extra energy there so I can actually talk to a second NPC. But let's actually split the difference here. And hope that it doesn't matter enough. So, less stats, but you get money here. That's what I'm going for, because we don't have any other way to get money at the moment. Period. That's the end of the sentence for now. And now you get introduced to both the battle system, but also one of the primary portions of the raising, which is basically the Crimson Night? Crimson Moon. Night of the Crimson Moon, specifically if you want to say the whole phrase, but just to get your feet wet without harming you too much, because you're going to get carried by the Professor Anne here. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It's a lot to kind of explain, so I'll touch on things here and there, but I might actually just go on a tangent at some point. Magic spells normally have basically a shape that they can take. Sometimes if it's all enemies, there's no shape, but for the more basic spells like Flame Circle, it's a literal circle. Blizzard Zone is a larger rectangle. These are the advanced versions of the spells that this character is using. If your daughter does go into magic, which mine isn't, then you will start with the more basic spells that have a smaller area of effect before you get the advanced ones. Now, there is a trade-off, however, as I've learned, to doing certain things. If not just the basic thing, I'll go over the basic thing. Again, the official guide goes over it. Please use it if you ever need to get some basically facts here and there. I think for the most part, the official guide explains basically the details that the game, I think for some reason, doesn't go over at times. I don't think it does. Maybe there's a glossary section, but I don't remember if there is one. But, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. We'll go over the battle system more when it's relevant and I need to focus more. So, help everyone out. And off we go. So we'll use this as the last month here as we go into March. I'm certain there's another family trip. So not enough gold. We need 600 gold. So it's time for bakery, I guess. Or we could sell items. There's a lot you can do in this game, gameplay-wise. But the exact endings and what... No, actually, there are I think 50 to 51 endings. So you've got your time spent out for you. So his name is Philo. I'm just going to say Philo for now. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But yeah, Philo has ruined more than a few runs. And caused me to load more, like at least half a dozen times. That I know for sure. And that's all I'll say on that for the moment. But as we do our Noah talks, because we're going to be at the bakery for a moment, and so actually no, now we have this. So now that you've been introduced to the battle system, you can actually go on monster hunts. Perfect place to end. Perfect month to end. That being said, I still want to talk to Chocula. So and something to note here is that even if you run out of energy, you can still go on a family trip. Family trip doesn't take energy, so use all the stress that you can use and then do what you do. That being said, so the unfortunate part is because I don't have another point of energy, I can't do anything else afterward. And in fact, I didn't even unlock Chocula yet, so this is going to be interesting. Can I get through this? I guess we're gonna find out. So, nope, we cannot. Well. But I did want to train, so I guess we'll deal with it. That being said, I think we're just going to force Bakery so we can do the family trip. Never mind. Got destroyed by the monster. So, even if you don't skip out on the battle, unless I made a wrong choice somewhere, again, I don't remember everything. I haven't learned everything about Magical Princess yet, obviously. But I could work somewhere else, but I don't want to use up the turn, so I'm just going to go Training Grounds. Can we talk to someone else? I think we could, right? Did we already talk to Chocola? I think we did. Yeah, we did. Never mind. I wanted to do advanced training, but that would leave an extra point of energy, and I don't think I have... There is food that gives you energy, and we actually should have used that earlier. But, yeah, we just have a lot of stress instead. Stress reduction instead. Unbreakable, Zephyr Sword, Wind Shear. That would be useful. I want to do AoEs immediately. I'm going to take it. But I don't think... Out of curiosity, let's see if that actually changes the evaluation. It does not. It's looking at my stats, which are all too low. So I can brute force with high enough stamina, but the problem is we don't have enough stamina. So we're just gonna do 3 sword training because if nothing else, I do need to get this training to max, so I might as well. We get a skill point while we're doing it, but I still don't think that's enough. Actually, I'm gonna go towards the class training. We are getting close to completing all classes. You will actually complete it quite early if you focus on one genre, but hey, fun stuff. We also get a Knight's Sword. That could carry me. So equipment does help your evaluation. Again, the evaluation isn't everything, but I promise you, it's pretty accurate. So if I go in here... Oh, never mind. I don't have enough energy. Well, back to the training grounds we go. Once we go into do our monster hunt, though, we should be able to go into a family trip. Again, we have the whole season to do so, but out of curiosity, 600, right? 600. Let me check one more thing. Armory. And can we sell enough? Technically, we can if we sell everything, right? 300, 370, 400. Yeah, we can. Do I want to do that? I'm going to do it. So we're just going to sell everything. Oh, I'm being really weird here. Literally everything? Probably could have kept one of the breads, but it's fine. It's fine. And off to the family trip we go. So now we're in spring. Next is going to be summer. And I should need to remember to talk about that, but I'll talk about it next video. And climb the hill for more stamina. Really? Oh, never mind. It's art. Here. Remember when I said I didn't remember everything? Did I not talk to Toas yet? Well, hey, do you believe in fate? Believe. But otherwise, we rest here, move on to the next month, and be happy with our lives. Again, I'll say it again later on, but if you go out and have an NPC you could talk to during the night, whether it's Hasis, I think Flan also, or Croa, I do think that's a better use of your energy if you're not planning to do anything else at night, or you don't need the energy for stress. I think there's a few moments in which you would use all the energy for stress, but for the most part, again, at a certain point, you'll know what you're doing. So, on the father's birthday, bond goes up, and guess the occasional break won't hurt. Otherwise, you could be a meanie and just drop your daughter's morality, but that's a sentence to say. But yeah, without further ado, not really much else to say here. I'll do my save here, roll the saves, and if you have anything to say, any questions, anything you want me addressed later on, then you know what to do. So yeah, not really much else to say. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode, hopefully, unless something really, really weird happens. But yeah, bye!